285.50. They're the ones that make sure that your tech is running in tip-top shape. A managed IT service provider with a greatly reduced fixed hourly rate during the coronavirus pandemic, as we're waiting for small businesses to get back at it. And truth be told, it might be a long time where a lot of businesses continue to work from home. If that is the case, and something goes kablooey, make sure you call upon Blue Frost IT. 616-200-8550 and found online at bluefrostit.com. The number one is voted on by all of the other managed IT service providers in West Michigan as the number one voted. That's not true. I like to think that, but even I can't even with a clear conscience say, yeah, all the other managed IT service providers got together and voted Blue Frost number one. That's a claim that even I can't make, but nevertheless, they're awesome, and they're a big sponsor of this show. Thank you to them for being on board. Okay. Also, in interest of public health, the Kent County Health Department working tirelessly to make sure that all of you have all the things at your disposal to make sure that you and yours are healthy, not hungry, well-fed. Boy, I'm off to a great start. Yeah, the Kent County Health Department wants to make sure that you stay hungry. Idiot. 616-632-7200. If you want to call them up about to find out more information about the WIC program, okay? That is basically, if you qualify, you get a card that says, look, go ahead and get your free food. And that's set up for people that have an underprivileged scenario and they're just having a hard time getting food on the table. You don't want your family to starve. And it's called WIC, stands for Women, Infant, Children, but it applies for families. The name is antiquated. It's a brand, So if you pay into it your whole life as you're working, if you need it, utilize it. That is especially important right now as so many Americans are struggling to put food on the table. You do not need to go hungry. Thank you for sponsoring the Eric Zane Show podcast. Oh, boy, on your mark, get set, and go!
And now, here's a guy who got tired of being fired by corporate radio. So he took up being fired by Patreon subscribers instead. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. This is a daily show. A daily podcast where I bring up news, nonsense, and my personal shenanigans. And we are high on shenanigans today. Oh my gosh, do I have a story to tell you. And it's a story that continued to get better as of this morning. I can't wait to fill you in on, high in shenanigans. Shenanigan rich. Shenanigans/adventure. And this is another example of how life just happens to people. It could be anybody. And typically for me, it's a thing that's like causes me great panic, like pandemonium in my life for a period of time, where at the time it seems like the worst thing on the planet. But it wasn't lost on me that, oh my God, I am dealing with something terrible, and I haven't really gone into detail yet about what it is at all. I haven't gone into any detail. But at the time, I was like, this is the worst thing on the planet, but I just cannot wait to get to the podcast to be able to share it with you. I'm constantly in that state of, oh, this is the worst, but it's going to be great. It's going to be a great story. I have one of those today, and I will get to that in just a bit. Hate email of the day. I'm not sure what this is all about. And I'm just saying hate email of the day. It's not like I do this every single day, but this, on all the hate email, this is the one. I know I'm laying in bed last night, and I get a notification that some dude has sent me a message on Facebook. This is all that it says. It's wrought with grammatical and spelling errors and I don't know if he was in a rush or that mad or is stupid. I have no idea the context. I don't know what's going on. All it says is, are you that much of a bigot, period. Now, that's a question. There is no question mark, but it reads as, are you that much of a bigot? Next sentence, poor excuse of a podcast. Next sentence, you pandering fool. It's all like random. Next sentence, keep complaining and we'll keep winning. Period. Your death toll is a lie, coward. Period. Your death toll is a lie, coward. Period. And I don't know what the fuck is he talking about. And then it says 66.000 deaths. I think he means 66,000 deaths. I'm not sure. 66,000 deaths. Not even close, soy boy. Soy boy, you say. Oh, okay. So I'm not exactly clear what is going on. I can rot with the grammatical errors and the lack of context and the assuming I know what is going on in his brain. I would assume that this is just a kind of a moron, an idiot who has very, very low IQ, and I'm not sure what I have an idea, and I don't want to speculate as to where this comes from, but I don't recall much of anything that's leading me to believe that there are any details in this. Your death toll is a lie. I don't know what – I'm not sure what particular thing he's pulling out of that. If anybody can help me, please, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. And I just followed up just before I went nighty-night with, what the hell are you talking about? My God. So, people, when you reach out to me, if you do have something ridiculous to say, what I want you to do is give me some context. I would appreciate that. It's interesting as I get the show started here that if you click on the message, it actually says free call. I don't want to get into that right now. I don't think I have the means right now. Well, maybe I do. Hold on a second. I got to run out this ground ball. Let me check the staff. Okay. Inbox. Dude's name is Jason. Can I make a call? Come on, let me make a call. Nah, I can't do it. All right. Shouldn't even have gone down that road. This podcast, as you know, is many, many places that you can enjoy it. Facebook, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page live. I do everything live in the morning. It's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. Brought to you by Blue Frost IT, a Periscope video. I'm on YouTube as well. Just search Eric Zane Show. Please subscribe to that. And Instagram, where I do the Instagram instant interviews like I did yesterday. That's great fun. It seems to be quite a regular thing where if you follow me on Instagram, and I would encourage you to do so, just search Eric Zane Show and just follow, because at random moments, I'm going to go live, and then on the Instagram instant interview, for all the people that are watching it, I click on one of you and invite you to it, and then your face appears. We have a conversation. You see my neck fat, like you did yesterday when I was doing it with Logan Ridge Howard from Maine, and then we have a conversation, and then that's it. And so let it be known that if you do in fact watch one of the videos or follow me on Instagram, you might get invited in for an Eric Zane Show podcast Instagram instant interview. So that is great fun. All right, so that is all there. And then everything that happens on this show live, every bit of it, is then recorded like I am right now, and then I post that to all of the podcasting platforms for you to enjoy at your leisure. You can download the audio, and listen while you're working, and you don't have to have the visual element to it. It seems like more and more people are getting the podcast from the video side of it, which, whatever. If you want to watch it live, you want to be more in the moment, well, that's fine by me, because I sell it all. And that's basically how I make the meter move, and how I have for the last 16 months. Thanks to you. My gosh. All right. yesterday, I figured out what I did wrong because, I was only on a Periscope video. I didn't have the Facebook or YouTube. And I figured out what I did wrong. There's a little button that has to be enabled that says multi-destination on my platform here. Somehow I fat-fingered that thing, and damn it. So that was kind of a bummer, and it was weird because I started early, and then so to a lot of people, they're like, oh, no, what happened to him? He's dead. So if you were like wondering, I'm sorry. It is available yesterday if you want to watch it on Twitter. You'll have to scroll through a few of my tweets and whatnot. And then the audio is always available at ericzaneshow.com or on all of the podcasting platforms. I'm considering having for video, a YouTube-only day so that if you want to watch it, the only way you can watch it is on YouTube. And you would need to search Eric Zane Show and then subscribe to it in order to be notified when I go live. So it'd be like a day like today, but it wouldn't be available on Facebook or Twitter. But I wouldn't want to do that unless I really warn you in advance so that we can. And the reason why I would want to do that is because in order to have like a viable business to be able to get advertisers to your YouTube lives, you need to have 4,000 logged audience hours. And I'm only at like 2,200 right now. So I got to give that thing a kick in the dick to get it moving. So be warned. That might be coming. But I'll give you plenty of a heads up. Don't worry. I won't surprise you with anything. If you want it, it's so simple. All right? Stand by. So the idea yesterday was to put the technology in place up at Fear Bunker North. And that's what I'm calling it now. 2 hours and 40 minutes by car, 144 miles door to door from Hudsonville, Michigan up to Grayling, Michigan. Now, this area it's 2-track, it's the wilderness, it's dense woods, coyotes everywhere, bears mauling dogs. Like that just happened like 2 weeks ago. Some lady let her dog out, and then the dog got mauled by a bear, and the lady had to go up and I don't know how the dog got away, but the dog ended up surviving. 300-pound black bear comes tromping, snorting, attacks the dog. This is the type of area we're talking about. This is the home of Q100 in northern Michigan, with the Coyne family that has me on the insane asylum Saturday at midnight. So I go up there, and the idea is I want to spend more time up there. And so, if I go up on a Friday after the podcast, I have to be back Sunday night in order to do the podcast. I'm like, well, hell, man, I want to be able to do the podcast up there. And I want to be able to spend more time up there. So how do I do the podcast up there? And I was talking with Jeff Walgrave, who works in that neck of the woods. And he goes, yeah, man, it's simple. Satellite internet. So I'm like, okay, all right. I guess I got to bite the bullet. So this company called HughesNet, I signed up. And the beauty of this damn thing is if you're not there, you can shut it down. So if in the winter months when I don't go up there, I don't have to pay for it. So I'm like, well, that's it. That's the game changer. I'm committing. That's it. So yesterday was the day. Drive up there, meet the local contractor. He is going to install all the gear to make it so that I have internet access in a place that has none otherwise. It's oh my God, it's a struggle to even get a cell signal up there. They don't even have landline phones up there. I'm kidding. Electricity is scarce in some parts. I mean, this is a low population part of the state. These are the people who are like, why is the state shut down? Because they're like, no one's sick up there. They've like never heard of coronavirus. By the way, as you go up north, when I jumped in the car to go up there, gas was $1. It's $1.40 a gallon where I live here, which is super low, as it is throughout the country. Up there, it's $1.06. I saw gas for $1.06 up there. I'm like, well, that's about to change because as of just the other day, you can, with restrictions, travel from place to place here in Michigan. And as more and more people get out there, and then this one gas station that I stopped at in Cadillac, Michigan, which is always packed. I mean, this time of year, as people are starting to go up north to northern Michigan, any day of the week, any hour of the day, this gas station you have to wait in line. It's like the last bastion of gas. And I went there on the way up and on the way back. I stopped to fill up for like $5 in the Civic Hybrid. And there wasn't one other motorist at a pump both times that I was there. It's remarkable how dead it is. Okay, so I'm off. I meet the dude. He sets up my gear. Let me back up on the story here, though. As I'm driving up, I noticed that on the trailer, this is a trailer from like 1953 or something like that. It's super old. There's a front door of the trailer and a back door. There's a back bedroom and there's a door off of it. It has popped open, and that does happen from time to time. I don't know what it is. It's the shifting of the thing, but it's old, and the door popped open. So I'm going, God, God only knows how long that's been open. So I'm walking into there expecting to see a wolf or a coyote or a bear. No such luck, though. But there was evidence that some wildlife had been in there or is in there. And I can smell a smell that I know well, and that is mouse waste, and not like poop. The poop is visual. I can see the mouse droppings, like very gross. Like on where I would prepare the food, there's mouse droppings. Now, I have made that place mouse-free up until this point. I have blocked every entrance, every place to get in, and I was very proud of that. I have traps up everywhere, and for the last 10 times I've gone up, there hasn't been a single trap sprung because there's no more mice. If you give them an opportunity to come in, though, they will come in, and they will set up shop. So I don't know if it was from the door or another spot. Who knows? But there was evidence of the mice. And so I smell a really, really strong urine smell. And that's unforgettable. It's right up there with cat piss. So I smell that. I'm like, oh, this is bad. So Diana's not going to want to be in this place. I literally am going to have to get a bleach water solution and sanitize top to bottom now and get rid of that before she will set foot in there. And I can certainly understand that. Who would want to go into a place full of where mouse have used your residence as a toilet, where mice, I should say, have used your residence as a toilet? So I'm like, oh, she's not going to like this, man. My God. So that's clear. And I'm like, ah, shit. Well, all right. So I see the mouse droppings everywhere. Very, very small. So I'm like, well, these are babies. And sure enough, I checked the traps, and whammo, dead. Whammo, dead. Whammo, dead. I'm like, well, these fuckers came in. They found a bulb of garlic, and they were eating that. So these mice had bad breath as they're like, oh, this is awesome. This is a great place to live. We got this big bulb of garlic and nice shelter from the winter, because you get like 15 feet of snow there a day. And but then they like wandered over to the traps and whammo. So that was that. I go, well, all right, problem solved. Dude comes into the place. He sets up the equipment, makes it so that it's enabled. I log in, and then I did a Facebook Live video. You can see it on my Facebook page. And in it, I like, oh, look, the mice got in. Oh, shucks, this is terrible. In the back of my brain, I mean, like right now I'm talking about how pronounced the urine smell was, but back then I was like, well, who knows where they peed? I'm just going to have to, but it's all taken care of. It was just a couple of mice, and they're dead now, so no big deal. There was no more evidence of any more activity at that point. Shot the video. That was that. I'm getting set to wrap up my day. All I have to do basically is shut down the trailer, lock it up, and leave. But for some reason, in the kitchen area of this trailer, and there is video for this. I haven't posted it yet. Upon conclusion of the podcast, I will post this. I'll put it in the show notes, and I'll link it up for you. All right. What happened was, in the kitchen, I opened up a drawer, and the drawer is struggling to open. And then the drawer, I get it open, and I can't believe my eyes. It was such a large nest that the drawer was stuck with a mouse hotel. It wouldn't open anymore because behind it had gotten so big that it won't even open. So I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is what happened. So there were no mice in it, and I was just like, oh man, this is much bigger than what I had thought. This isn't just a couple of mice wandering around. I have found the whole setup here where they had built a community of mice, and I guess they wandered away from the nest, or maybe they're dead, but I don't know, man. I have no idea, and I'm panicking. And it's so elaborate. You can't even see what was in the drawer. So, all right, I pull the drawer out. I take it outside. I pull out the next drawer. The next drawer, the top drawer, was the living quarters where they would sleep, play mouse games, mouse Scrabble, mouse Yahtzee, mouse Jenga. The drawer below it is the restroom. The drawer below it, if the mice hadn't gotten in, contains one of these plastic dividers that, is a spot for forks. There's a spot for spoons and knives and your utensils and shit, all like trayed out. Well, so it's a container basically you can just grab your utensils. There's so much piss in it, not dried. It's covering the utensils. It's so bad that you can see it's like a lake of piss, like a fork-shaped fucking lake of mouse piss, a spoon-shaped lake of mouse piss, and a butter knife shaped lake of mouse piss with butter knives underneath piss lake. What? And I'm like, oh God. And then some of it is all like dried and caked, like up the walls of the 60, 70-year-old wood in the drawer. And the pine wood in the drawer has absorbed the essence of the piss. So it's like, oh my God, they have destroyed this. So I'm like, oh, I needed a mask. I pull it out, and I walk outside, and if you look in, this is so gross. If you, as I'm carrying this tray or this drawer with that tray in it, you can see like waves of piss like moving through it. It's so full of mouse piss. God, man. I take it outside. I'm like, oh my God, Diana's never gonna set foot in here again. Now, so all the drawers are out, and I look inside of the cabinetry of that holds the drawers, and it's just piles and piles of wood shavings and dust and where they've ripped up leaves and made this enormous, elaborate setup, man. It reminded me of the friggin' catacombs and Gangs of New York. Terrible reference. Nobody gets it. But it was so bad. So then I'm faced with it took me an hour to get all of this, and then I'm like touching it with gloves on, and it's really awkward and weird to get it all out of there. I thank God I had a vacuum. I made it as clean as possible. The drawers, I just took what was in there and just dumped them into the garbage, and then you can see the piss just dripping out of the drawer. I leave that all outside. The plan is this: I'm going to go and I'm going to go up there very soon. And then bleach all of that, soak it in bleach, especially that drawer setup, because I got to keep the drawers. And then I'm going to bust out the, what do you call it? Zinzer's 123 oil-based primer and paint the hell out of those. That's the only thing I can do unless someone has a tip on this. It's all soaked into the wood. It's just horrible. Horrible. Wow. And I have video. I'll post that. The story's not done. The up north portion is. I like I said, I shot video, called Diana. I go, this is really, really bad. It's just terrible. So I was really bummed out. Jumped in the car. Drove the 2 hours and 40 minutes home. That passed. Get home. Normal night. Preparing for this. Thinking to myself, cannot wait to tell you this story. And then I remember I went to bed and fell asleep. And for some reason, and you're going to think that this is all crazy and that I'm making it up, but what I'm about to tell you, I also have proof of it happening too, because I thought it was so strange what happened, what I'm about to tell you, that I said, they're not going to believe me. So I have a photo to prove it, and I'll be able to link that up for you. You can see it all for yourself. I woke up at 10 after 1, and I couldn't get back to sleep. And for 30 or 40 minutes, I just lay there. And what I was thinking about during that time was that in this home, in my home right here, we have from time to time seen a mouse. And the cats always find it, and they play with it until it dies. They don't have that instinct to kill it or eat it like Buddy Bobcat Face used to, but these are indoor cats. A totally different thing. But they will play with it until it croaks, and then they don't know what to do with it. Now, what kept me up was, boy, if that type of nest is in my home, and there's no reason why it couldn't be, that is like the worst thing ever. And if all those times that I've seen a mouse in the home, if I haven't went and taken all the steps to make sure that there is mouse eradication, I could, in theory, have that type of scenario that I found up at Fear Bunker North here in this home with lake piss, the forks swimming in piss, mouse piss. I mean, why not? You know, and this is a much bigger place to live than that trailer. So it stands to reason that if there has ever been a mouse seen in this house, and there has, what's keeping them from doing that here? So I laid there for 30 or 40 minutes. I finally fell back to sleep. I wake up today, a couple hours ago, same as it always is. Walk into the kitchen, get my coffee. Cats are going crazy. They want to eat. I feed the cats. I get the coffee. I sit down. The Today Show starts. I say hi to Hoda. I say hi to Savannah. They're still social distancing. Savannah's at home. They're talking about how there might be a meat shortage. I'm like, oh, that's terrible, man. Damn it. I sure hope people don't hoard. And by the way, you shouldn't. You've heard stories about there may be a bit of a shortage in meat production. Do not rush to the store and buy all the fucking meat, okay? Buy what you need, dummy. I stand up from the chair. I'm looking at the phone with a cup of coffee in my right hand, my phone in the left. I'm facing down like I am now, as you can see me on the video. I'm looking at the phone, and on the floor, there's something that is there. You know where this is going. I could not believe it. Yes, my big toe is touching the tip of a small mouse's tail. What? And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, did I bring it home with me? It's what? Now, I didn't. They were all almost fossilized on the fucking trap up north. I didn't bring it home. what I was just thinking about a handful of hours later, keeping me up at night, happened. Probably while I was thinking about it. There's a mouse there. Can you believe this? After all of that just happened, the incident at Fear Bunker North, laying awake thinking about it happening here, I'm waking up, and there's a mouse on the floor. Diana doesn't even know about this. I've been dying to tell her. I got a piece of paper towel. I picked him up by his tail, and I have to take a picture of it in this home to prove to you that this happened. Because you're going to think, fuck, he's embellishing this shit. That's what radio people do. They lie about all this shit. Oh, no. And I held it up, and Milo is standing there looking at me. He's in the background of this picture that I took. And I snapped it, so you'll be able to see it. So this is all documented. I have enough sense to know how to do that. Now I got to reveal this to the temptress and Phil, her, and she is not going to believe this, man. Oh, my God. Oh, come on now. What could you be doing? Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Why did that take so long? It took like 10 rings.
It did?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was because I have my new iPad now, so my phone kind of gets set to the side.
Yeah.
And so I didn't hear it.
What? Before I get to this startling revelation that I have to tell you, the new iPad that you just said, hey, this is what I'm getting for Mother's Day and our anniversary, and didn't even give me a chance to buy it for you. You just bought it. What have you used it for? No doubt. That's different. I mean, you use it for Candy Crush, right?
Yeah. Well, no.
Zoom, Candy Crush, and Zoom.
Yeah, I Zoom with my students. It's much better on an iPad, and I'm getting old, so I can see better on my iPad. So I do much better at Candy Crush on my iPad because I can see it better.
That's pretty much it, right?
The news.
Yeah.
And the best thing is I get 10 lives on Candy Crush now because I get 5 on my phone and 5 on my iPad.
There you go. All right. Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for you.
So that's kind of nice. But now this week they're giving unlimited lives.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's irrelevant. Yeah. But for some reason they didn't give me unlimited lives on my iPad. They're just on my phone.
Okay. Now I have something to tell you that the audience is aware of. I just told them, but I haven't.
Is it bad?
Yeah. I think it is.
What?
It's not earth-shattering, but what
Do you have coronavirus?
No, you can't try to guess the ending. You got to just sit there. You're not gonna You're not gonna believe this.
You're giving me anxiety.
You should. This is anxiety.
What? Just spit it out.
No, I need to do this appropriately. What was the big news yesterday? It wasn't. I'm not referring to Jackie. What was the big thing that could have caused me the most anxiety yesterday?
You're cutting out.
Okay, I'll.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
It says poor connection.
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good here. It doesn't say that on my end.
And now I can hear you.
Yesterday.
Big revelation.
What was the big thing that I was like, oh, no, not, and it has nothing to do with Jackie. What was the big thing that during the day I was like, oh no, this is not good?
The mice.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was the mice, and so I was just telling the audience about that, and I was just also telling the audience that last night I laid awake for a period of time because we have found occasionally mice here, and my big thing that I seriously, for like half an hour I couldn't sleep because, if you find mice, you could have a scenario, probably more than likely, of what I found up north. And in this home, that would be bad. I mean, Diana, the amount of piss was startling. It was really, really terrible. It's It was, and the smell was unforgivable.
So I do have a serious question. Are mice kind of like rabbits? They multiply quickly.
The quickest.
Oh,
So, we've found mice in here. You know that, right? You remember the time when Milo came in with one in his mouth and Jackie was carrying the cat saying Milo has a mouse. Milo dropped the mouse in our bedroom and we never found the mouse.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't. We never found that mouse.
Yes, we did. We took it down the street, remember?
Well, that was another scenario. There have been lots of mice over the years. I mean, we've lived here for 11, 12 years now. So, I guess my point is we have found mice in the house before.
Yeah.
Okay. I have proof of this. This morning, guess what was dead on the floor of the kitchen after all of this shit? A mouse.
You're kidding, right?
I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I took a picture of it. I have a picture of it, and I can't send it to you this second, but that happened. After all that shit, and even staying awake at night, you know how shocked I was? I about shit my pants when I saw a dead mouse on the floor in this house. The cats played with him till he croaked. But yeah, that happened.
So what do we do?
I don't know.
Do we call an exterminator?
I want to burn the house down after what I experienced yesterday. Whew. But I mean, can you believe the coincidence of that? Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Maybe you remember how we've been hearing them like screeching stuff downstairs
The cats?
lately?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm just glad they caught the little bastard, but that if there's one, there's 8 million. Oh.
Oh my God.
All right.
I think okay, maybe we should call somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to I'd apply for a small business loan just to get rid of the mice.
Gross.
All right, that's it. I just want to tell you that.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye. Oh my God, can you believe that? She was as shocked as I was. Crazy, crazy stuff. Okay, man, I've got so much more to talk about today. It's seriously, really, really a jam-packed show, but I cannot believe that. You'll be able to see it all when I link it up through my website, ericzaneshow.com. The United States says, all right, here comes the documentation. We have released officially through the Pentagon the proof, the smoking gun of unidentified flying objects. We are actually acknowledging that these are UFOs. And everybody knew it, but now it's official. It's absolutely official. I will talk about that in a bit, and an Eric Zane Show podcast small business shout out. Don't move anywhere, all right? You got to keep listening. And if you're listening to the audio podcast, if I find out that you bumped ahead 15 seconds, I'm going to kick your ass. I've got the Patreon podcast when I'm all said and done. New to the Patreon podcast, I'm kind of putting the cart before the horse, will be Dear Meathead live on Zoom. Can you imagine all of us, a handful of you, selected randomly? If you're on Patreon, your name can be drawn for Zoom Dear Meathead, or Dear Meathead Zoom. Haven't quite settled on the name. But we'll get Dad on there, and you'll be able to have a face-to-face interaction with Dad and Joanne. How fun will that be? With Dear Meathead on Zoom for Patreon members. Yet another reason to sign up for Patreon. You got that. You've got Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia, which we're playing today for cash from Bennett Flooring Installation. Fear Bunker Trivia on Friday for cash from Bennett. Not to mention the daily bonus podcast and the daily bonus podcast video live stream. All on Patreon. All of that for $5 a month. What? And if you decide to really splurge, I'll buy you a T-shirt for $10 a month. Get you in that T-shirt. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/Eric Zane or click where it says Patreon on my website and sign up. Don't be a cheap bastard. A&E Heating and Cooling has a special going on right now where you call them at 616-516-8579. Senor Martinez is going to waive the trip charge. It's normally $65 just to get him out the door. That's waived for Eric Zane Show podcast listeners. 10% off on any work that you have done on the already lowest price in the business. That I can promise you. And you know what? Like I say for all these sponsors, go ahead and get a few more estimates. Do the other ones first. I don't care what the company is. Get company A, company B, and then Joe. And then compare them. And then if you're like, well, I really want to support Zane, Joe, sweeten the pot for me. He'll figure something out for you. He utilizes Comfort Maker heaters and air conditioners, the best in the business. A&E Heating and Cooling right there, 616-516-8579. You need a mortgage? I got a guy. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage right there over my shoulder. Thank you. Mario's working hard to get you in a mortgage, 231-332-6505. First-time home buyers are encouraged. You know, that's tricky business, man. You got a million things going through your brain. High-stress time. You're going to drop all this cheddar on a house. Oh, no, what do I do? I've got all these dumb questions I'm too scared to ask this guy because he's really aloof. His bedside manner sucks. Not Mario. 231-332-6505. Thank you. All right. This time around, I'm going to bring in a guy by the name of Randall Lockwood. Randall Tex Lockwood. If you make barbecue sauce, then you can be rest assured that you got to have a name like Tex. Of course, I fat-fingered the phone number when I loaded it in the first time, so this is terribly embarrassing. But I'm going to try it again. God, I do that so much. Even when wearing the glasses, I do that. If this doesn't work, I am going to have a temper tantrum. Thank God. You're like, please have a temper tantrum. Please don't work.
Tex.
Randy!
Hey, what's up, Eric?
Sorry I'm late. I got to ranting.
I saw that. That was a good story, though.
The whole thing about the mouse? The mice?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I deal with that, too. I got a place up in Fife Lake, which is up that way.
You do?
Yeah. Where are you from? Where's yours?
I used to camp over at Spring Lake.
Spring Lake.
That's a campground right next to it, just south of it off 131.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's very small, and Spring Lake feeds into Fife Lake. We used to go to Fife Lake every 4th of July for the fireworks.
Yeah, we always go there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think
crazy.
do you think you'll end up going there this year? Well, of course you will, you know? I mean, this is all gonna work out.
We started building a cabin there about 4 or 5 years ago. We're just getting it finished. Well, we were getting it finished. And hopefully we can get to the end if we can get this economy going again. So.
Yep. Now, let's back up, Tex. And I was talking to the audience how if you're gonna make barbecue sauce, you got to have a name like Tex, right?
You got to, right? And that's what confuses people a little bit. Like, where are you from? Texas? Yeah. What is it? And that's exactly the first thing they think of, though, is barbecue sauce. And really what we are is a buffalo wing sauce company, not necessarily barbecue sauce. Although we do have a flavor or two that is like barbecue, yeah.
So tell me the subtleties that make it different. Is it the spice level or what?
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of barbecue is not really necessarily hot and spicy, although some can be like Carolina styles. We have a Carolina style barbecue that's called Hickory Honey Gold, and that's basically the idea there is mixing good old fashioned sugary barbecue with like cayenne pepper sauce and something like that to make it almost a mix between the two.
Yeah.
And then most barbecues are pretty much very sugary. And we don't necessarily go with the sugar. That's what separates us apart. We're more of a vinegar-based sauce as opposed to a sugar-based sauce.
You would
So it's more
probably
tart.
hate me, Tex, because this is what
Why is
I
that?
do, and you need to talk me out of this terrible habit. When I'm
Okay.
walking through the store, I grab the cheapest price possible.
Most people do, yeah. Yeah. The good old grocery store brand or whatever they can come up with, right?
Right. And I just like,
And-
screw it. 99 cents.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really tough for retail. We don't do a lot of retail. We specialize in food service,
Right.
where quality is really
Sure.
important in a restaurant or a bar.
Gotcha. So
Now we do have a retail brand, that we do bottles, but right now we're kind of retooling that in a new plant down in North Carolina, and we're hopefully getting a deal to do 5,000 stores nationwide
All right.
here. So
now let me
if that happens, we're back in retail.
let me yeah, absolutely. Now let me give the audience a little bit of background here, because now your company is called Sauce Gone Wild. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And you decided 10, 11 years ago, when the economy stunk then, that you wanted to change things up, and start to become a buffalo sauce maker. Yes?
That's correct, Derek.
Okay.
That's what we do. Yep.
And you're based in West Michigan. That's thus the small business shout out. But as
Sure.
I do these small business shout outs, it could be anywhere in the United States, wherever people want to reach out to, and I'm sure that they will. But the majority of them have been from West Michigan, because that's where I have the biggest audience. But can you take me through what were you doing prior to taking this step to get into this type of business? Was it anything related, or did you just say, hey, you know what? I'm a free spirit. I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to start making barbecue sauce, buffalo sauce?
Yeah, that's a long story. I'll try to make it as short as I can. But I was in business, and at the time I was working in the technology field. We did a lot of security and surveillance, cameras, things like that, security systems,
Yeah.
and whole house audio and special stuff like that. When the economy was riding high, everybody was putting a lot of new technology in around 2006, 2008. But as soon as it hit the fan there with the financial crisis, that was the first stuff to go, So we weren't doing much business there. And then next thing you know, the recession hit and everybody was out. So I was like anybody else at that point, just sitting here going, what happened?
Right, yeah.
Much like right now,
Right. Yep.
And I was like, everybody was down and out. And, of course, you still want to have a cold one and go out there and have some fun. Nobody had any money. Nobody would show up. So there was a little bar in my hometown called the Farmer's Tavern. It's in Mulligan, Michigan. And they kind of gave me my start I had an idea with the waitress. There was, hardly anybody there because the economy was so bad. And I said, let's start a wing night. Because we don't have any sauce. I said, I got a couple, that we used to make for 20 years, and my wife tried to keep me home and keep me out of the bars and the wing nights down when I lived in Kalamazoo. So I said, let me put some sauce in there and let's get something going, So I put a couple sauces in there and we started getting people in. And I said, you need the big full-on solution. You need the 6, 7, 8, 9 flavors and the one brand and, make it a wing night, So we started doing Sauce Gone Wild Wing Night. And that place took off, and you didn't get in there by 6 o'clock. You weren't going to have a place to sit. And so I did a couple more bars and helped them out, these little small-town bars that were struggling. And next thing you knew, we were at the big distributors in Grand Rapids, and with a lot of help from our boys over in Saranac, Michigan, there was a company there called Saranac Brand Foods that helped me get going and started making my sauces. Next thing you know, we were off and running. We were a sauce company. That's how it all started.
Oh my God! That what you said there seems like something that would take like 100 years, but to plot that out in the timeline that you did, to have the success you had that quickly, winning over the locals at a small tavern like that, and then just replicating it is kind of a formula for any type of business, frankly. So I applaud you for
really
having
is.
that sense.
It was a harder business than a lot because of all the food regulations, and you have to get these things right. You can't even have the name on the product or an ingredient a thousandth of a % off where it's flagged and you're not selling it anymore. So you had to learn the rules, and we went through that, and we got that all straightened out. And then at that point, we haven't had any trouble. We've been off and running. So.
That's incredible. The fact that it's that particular. I mean, to me, I would just throw it in a crock pot or whatever and say, "Here you go," and then the next thing you know, the health department shut me down. But having to be
they will.
You know, I mean, geez, yeah, I would totally expect that. But and good thing that they have that in place. So you.
We need it. It's 100% necessary, or you'd never know what you were eating out there.
Right.
And it's a great thing, and it's not that big a barrier. You just have to get a hold of some people and have them teach you the business, just like any business.
Okay. So then, you know, with the success you had, you started to work with food service industry so that you can, I mean, the main way you're able to make the meter move is by getting your products into bars and restaurants. So, and that's how you've done it. And you now, as the economy is taking a dump with all of this, that affects the restaurants, the businesses, which affects you. So, I guess, I mean, as how do you see this unfolding in the next year for you?
Well, boy, you know, that's a tough question. I mean, even the stock market can't really figure out what's going to happen, right? Let alone little old sauce gone wild. So, we'll just have to see, you know. I mean, it's nice that the bars and the restaurants have been able to at least do takeout, but I'm going to tell you, they're struggling. You know, that's such a small portion of what they're used to bringing in. You know, everybody everybody knows, you know, support the bars and restaurants, but they don't. There's a long line of people that get that food to them. You know, that are in the same boat. You know. And so what we're all doing is just trying to get together and try to figure out how we all survive this. And, you know, the thing about America is it's been down before over and over and over. And, you know, don't bet against America. It will always come back. You're just trying to get a plan to kind of be there when it does, you know?
Right on, man. I love what you're saying, and it makes perfect sense. And hopefully people won't stress nearly as much if they have that in their brain. If I wanted to go to a place that featured Sauce Gone Wild, can you tell me where to go?
There's so many places that we're at, you know, and then we don't sell it direct, so we go through representatives like all the food distributors.
Okay.
You know, their reps are selling it all the time. If you ask me personally, you know, hey, this place in the area, I could probably tell you, but so many little small towns.
Okay.
And, you know, we've done everything from your mom and pops right in a little town with no stoplight to Van Andel Arena, you know.
Gotcha.
So we're everywhere, but, you know, we're coming up. And that's why I want to let, you know, if there's any people that are owning these bars and restaurants that are listening, or they work there, or their friends are managers, you know, we helped a lot of people. That was our goal. It was never to make money or get rich even. It was just about going up and helping these guys survive this recession we didn't see coming.
Right.
And that's the same goal that we have now. It's the same marketing plan. Sauce Gone Wild to be your one-stop solution for sauces. We're based right here in Michigan. We got 9 flavors. We do a lot of social media marketing and such to promote your bar and restaurant and say their location and, you know, tout your wing nights. And Texas Wild does appearances there. That's my character. And we just make it fun, and we could bring you a long list of people who turn their businesses around by using us.
I love it, and
we'll do that again.
I'm looking at saucegonewild.com. That is your site, and looks great. By the way, it looks just fantastic. And in it you talk about how people can reach out to you, and if they want to bring you guys aboard for their restaurant. It's just something that you can check out on your own.
Absolutely. And they can Google Sauce Gone Wild. They can go to Facebook.com, you know, and / Sauce Gone Wild. You'll see all kinds of cool stuff. We do everything from goofy little music videos, and, you know, we're just a fun company, and that's the idea, you know. We will be fun again, and that's coming. So hang in there, everybody.
Great words, Tex. And at saucegonewild.com, right near the top, I can see the icons for YouTube, Facebook, and you can like them. So I'll do that right now.
Awesome.
And add that.
Awesome.
Add that to the mix, and hopefully everybody will do the same too. Now, when I was talking to you yesterday from Fear Bunker North, and you had talked about how your previous outfit that you were in had been featured on the radio on BBL with me. A phone call was placed. Was that you that I spoke with, or someone else associated with who you were with at the time?
Yeah, that was the singer of the band. I'm also an entertainer on the side, and I think I still am. We haven't played many shows lately because we've been so busy with this business and everything like this. But live rock and roll kind of thing, you know. And you talk about my old band there, Skank.
Yes, the band Skank. If anybody listened to BBL for any amount of time, you had remembered a phone call or two. What is the lead singer's name? What is that guy's name, Tex?
He was Skip Skank.
Skip Skank, the lead singer, would call into the WBBL show and talk about their appearance. Maybe they were somewhere in Lansing or wherever. You guys, it's called, what did you say? Good old skanky rock and roll. Is that what you were describing?
Yeah, it was called 4 Decades of Skanky Rock and Roll. And what it was a tribute to, there's 80s bands and there's 70s bands. And so we thought, let's just do the whole, we all know what rock and roll was always written about back from the 50s, right? So that concept has never died really in rock and roll. I guess we lost it for a while in the 90s there when everybody was all depressed, but
it's about getting chicks, being a whore.
Well, people were, things happened in the 90s, and it wasn't so fun anymore after that party was over in the 80s. We're dating ourselves here, I think, Eric, a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. We're both old. Hey, what's funny is out of Brazil, there's another band called Skank. Did you know that?
Yes, there is. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what they do. I don't think their music's very skanky.
No, it isn't. It isn't. But you know what? I think they're rich. They've sold like over 5 million copies of their albums.
Well, it's the name. They don't have to be good with a name like Skank. So what we did, Eric, I got to tell you on that Skank name, that's a funny name. I mean, that's a funny word.
Yeah, it is.
And so I just thought it was hilarious. I didn't want to play anymore, and we kept, getting called in. This is before Skank was formed. Somebody asked us to do a party, and I said, okay, we're naming this band something that nobody would ever put on a marquee. Nobody would ever hire us because I don't want to play anymore. So we'll call this thing Skank. And guess did that ever backfire? I mean, we wound up playing. I mean, everywhere, and even we played, town festivals. Ladies and gentlemen, Skank is in town. They'd drive us in with the police department, put us in the car.
Oh my God!
We played the festival here in Portland, Michigan. For the church here. For their big fundraiser.
For the church.
Yeah, for the church. Live Skank. I couldn't believe it. So it's funny how you do some of these things, and they you can never understand marketing, but I guess
no way, man.
Marketing. You said some pretty outrageous things back in the day.
It's crazy. It's just what takes off is often the thing that you least expected, and then you got to learn to ride and then once it catches on, you got to ride the wave. You got to grab that board, get right high up on top of it, and say, "Yeah, I planned this all. I know what I'm doing."
Oh, you do. You do. And that don't fix it if it ain't broken, right?
Yeah, that's remarkable.
So it's fun. So we're still trying to get out and do that again. We may do another show here and there, but we're so busy with our businesses and stuff and sauce going wild that I hope we can again someday. But we got to definitely focus on getting these bars and restaurants back, and I hope someday we'll see live music again in these places.
Absolutely.
Because that's killing a lot of musicians right now too.
Yeah, man, the whole culture is taking a real hit. I mean, so eventually it'll. I saw Michigan, the state of Michigan. A couple of things. I saw Italy and Spain are dramatically lower on both cases and death. I watch that every day. I watched that Michigan had under 500 new cases yesterday, despite a vast more amount of testing, and so. But every day is horrible. I try to focus on the fact that. It's bad when you're looking at like a state like Michigan has 100 people die in a day, and you go, "Oh, that's not bad." And no, that's bad. That's really bad.
No, it's bad.
And
It's bad. It's just what's bad is all the confusion, I think.
Yeah,
You know, you hear one day, don't worry about masks, and then the other day they're like, well, everybody's got to wear a mask, and these are coming from the same experts, and you're just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Does anybody know? And I think they know, but I'm not trying to make it worse than it is. I think we're learning more and more about this every day, but the confusion and gets everybody battling and friend versus friend because their brain leans one way or the brain leads the other. And boy, I just hope we can get past that someday and have an open mind on each side and get some real data and some facts, and then we can let it guide us.
Maybe like inject some bleach into our veins. Maybe that'll clean the lungs.
I don't know. God, don't get me going on that. Just when people were liking me, you're going to get me to say something that gets half the people.
Don't worry about it. Sorry, that's what I do. That's the wave.
That's what you do.
That's the wave I ride.
I know. I was worried before I got out here. I'm like, well, here goes half my audience.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. I like planting my flag firmly in stupidity. So that's what I do.
No, I love it. I love your opinions. They're awesome.
All right, buddy.
Everybody needs
Thank
it.
you. I appreciate it. Text saucegonewild.com. You probably be eating it at a restaurant near you before you know it. And then when you do decide, well, not decide, but there's actually a thing in place where before too long you will be marketing this in stores. You had told me that. Do you have a timeline or a hope when you can walk through a store and see Sauce Gone Wild on shelves?
Well, we did it for a while, but like I said, we had a deal to go national. It's probably one of the biggest retailers you've ever heard. We couldn't get the product made fast enough, and when that happened, we retooled. We found a different place to have it made. We kind of shut our retail bottle line down. People did used to see it on shelves. We've been in Meijer and some other things and places, and we look to get back in there, but we needed to retool, and we learned from that experience. And next time you see us, you'll probably see us everywhere.
Okay.
And, so look for that.
You got me.
Waiting to get the word.
That's the quickest way that I'll skip the 99-cent bottle and go with a friend of mine who is doing great things with this. So.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, you get what you pay for too. We can't be cheap because we just use all the best ingredients in the world.
Yep.
So that's just what we do. So there's two different things there. I certainly buy a lot of cheap stuff myself, because to me, like gas, hey, that's a commodity, right?
Yes, yes.
But certain things you're like, you get to a good restaurant or something, you want a nice steak, not just a steak. Sometimes you really want to go wild, Eric.
Yeah, I hear you, Tex. I love it. Well done.
All righty.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you down the road. Thank you.
Yes, hey, get a hold of me sometime when you're up in the North Woods, and we can battle the bears together up there in Five Lake, all right?
My God, fantastic. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you down the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Bye.
The one and only Tex from Sauce Gone Wild, Randy Lockwood. Sounds like a lead singer of a rock band, too. Randy Lockwood on the Flying V guitar. What my problem is today. Nice, dude. Great personality, too. That guy's fun. That guy is fun. I have thoroughly enjoyed every time we get somebody on here. It's just enjoyable to bring a person in, and you're getting all these different personalities from all these different walks of life as we've done this. This whole, at the very least, meeting all these people on the Small Business Shout-Out has been an absolute blessing. And you can still do this. If by chance I could wave a magic wand, which would never happen, and all of a sudden coronavirus disappears, I would still be doing this every day. And so as we slowly make our way through this, one a day, bringing a new small business owner in to discuss with them their story, what they're doing, and who knows where the conversation may go. That's the idea. So, some of them might bitch that they're not getting the small business loan because major companies have robbed the cookie jar. Oh, my God. Got a story about that later on today. I don't know if I'm going to get to that today on the freebie or on the Patreon, but it will be discussed. Another multi-billion-dollar company raiding the money intended for, TC Paintball, Johnson's Carpet 1, Henry Steffes, Irvines, Van Dyke, Bennett, Blue Frost, frickin' Big Dick Donnie. That dude, he owns a bowling alley and a comedy shop. It's all totally shut down. He's had to resort to showing everybody his cock for $10 a pop in order to make ends meet. All right. Yeah, okay. I made myself laugh. That's embarrassing. So, all right, but I digress. Okay, I want to get to this UFO story. You may have seen this video before. It's described as the Tic Tac video. It's shot with like night vision. Looks a little weird, and you're like, well, what am I seeing here? And it's been around for quite some time by the guy, the dude Tom DeLonge, who former musician from the band Blink 182. Don't hold that against him. He's actually very, very bright. He brought these videos to light of unidentified flying objects. They had been kind of leaked by I'm not even sure how they got into his hands, but he started to make them known December 2017 to March 2018 by what's known as the To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences. I remember talking about that on my show on BBL. So it's one thing if Tom DeLonge from To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences publicizes it. You know, it seems amazing, but it might fade from your brain after time and nothing else happens. And then Rogan talked about it quite a bit. And now this is really bizarre. The video has these objects flying at an incredible rate of speed, and it isn't just you just see it buzz by the camera. It's video where our fighter jets are flying next to it, and they have cameras on it, and they're flying at the same speed as it. And now imagine flying at a very, very, very high rate of speed and then just turning like I am my hand, and then stopping on a dime at that speed and going at the same speed in an instant, defying all laws of physics, and most certainly no chance that anything that the United States would have, as far as we know, I always say as far as we know, in terms of technology. So in the videos, the pilots are like, what the fuck is that? And they're blown away. They can't believe it. So, you see this video, and it's like, what is going on here? And then, you're not really sure. So you've got whistleblowers coming out of the woodwork and talking about this thing. Well, just yesterday, the Pentagon has officially released these videos. Now, the reason why they hadn't officially released them, I'm not sure, but what they're saying is, we have determined that those videos do not indicate or reveal any of our military secrets. That's what they essentially are saying. And it's like, well, all right, great. So that was the hang-up? All right, well, whatever it takes. If you're releasing it now, the point is they're acknowledging it. It's been officially released by the United States government, because it's one thing when Tom DeLonge, former guy from Blink 182 with the To the Stars Academy, releases it, and whistleblowers talk, and it's kind of on the underbelly of media attention with the Rogans and the shows like, popping up here and there on like little radio shows and whatnot. It's kind of not mainstream. If the Pentagon releases it, then it's the top story in the news, like it was today on the Today Show. So the United States is saying, we have no idea what this is. This is an unidentified flying object. We have no explanation for it. We're releasing it because it's no threat to national security. It's an absolute abnormality, and we have no clue what's going on. Wow. That's huge. Pentagon officially released 3 short videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena that had previously been unreleased by a private company. Videos show what appear to be unidentified flying objects rapidly moving while recorded by infrared cameras. 2 of the videos contain service members reacting in awe to how quickly the objects are moving. One voice speculates, that could be a drone. Nope. The Navy previously acknowledged the veracity of the videos in September of last year. They're like, yeah, we see them. They're officially releasing them now in order to clear up any misconceptions by the public on whether or not the footage that has been circulated was real or whether or not there is more to the videos. This clears that up. The Pentagon has said, this is real. We're releasing it. We have no idea. So for the Pentagon to say, yep, it's real, that's very, very big. This could very well be extraterrestrial spacecraft seen. After a thorough review, the department has determined that the authorized release of these unclassified videos does not reveal any sensitive capabilities or systems, said Pentagon spokesman Sue Go in a statement, and does not impinge on any subsequent investigations of military airspace incursions by unidentified aerial phenomena. So after all of this, that's the statement that lets it go. The Navy now has formal guidelines for how its pilots can report when they believe they have seen possible UFOs. In 2017, one of the pilots who saw one of the identified objects in 2004 told CNN that it moved in ways he couldn't explain. So the guy who is involved in shooting the video spoke of this. And I remember reading this quote, but he said, these are his words. As I flew close to it, it rapidly accelerated to the south. It vanished in less than 2 seconds. I'm talking about the speed. Said retired U.S. Navy pilot David Fravor. This was extremely abrupt, like a ping pong ball bouncing off a wall. It would hit and go the other way. So they're freaking out. If you were flying at that speed and stopped in an instant and immediately was going the same speed the other direction, it would destroy whoever's in there with the gravitational force that would be hitting whatever living being is inside of that, no doubt. That's just my speculation, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. Like the laws of inertia. If you suddenly stop your car, you're going to keep wanting to go forward. Well, imagine that. You're doing like 700 miles an hour, and you do that. My God. You're going to be really in bad shape. You're going to have to get your lungs washed. The Pentagon has previously studied recordings of aerial encounters with unknown objects as part of a since-shuttered classified program that was launched at the behest of former Senator Harry Reid of Nevada. The program was launched in 2007, ended in 2012, according to the Pentagon, because they assessed that there were higher priorities that needed funding. Bullshit. I want a space fight, for God's sake. Nevertheless, Luis Elizondo, the former head of the classified program, this is one of the whistleblowers, told CNN in 2017 that he personally believes that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone. That makes the hair go up on the back of my neck. Does it make the hair go up on the back of your neck? This is right up there with celestial excitement. This is what I'm talking about, okay? This is the smoking gun, in my opinion. I mean, it's already. I look at the countless numbers of galaxies and planets, and oh my God, and you just don't know what their technology can do for whatever being that is out there. We would be naive to think that we are alone. Come on, people. So if they have let's just suspend all what you're normally used to thinking and focus on this. Let us assume in this hypothetical scenario that I'm putting forth to you that these are beings from another planet, from far away, and they have the means to travel from there to here, because we're talking an unbelievable distance that we don't have the means to get there. But if they have the means to get here, who's to say we wouldn't one day be able to thumb a ride? Now, come on. That is incredibly exciting. If we say, all right, we make friends with whatever these are, they go, all right, let's figure this out, man. Why don't you get in our hot rod? We're going to go over to the Crab Nebula, and we'll be back in a couple hours, And so there you go. Boom! You're off into space. You come back. You won't believe what I saw, man. I saw a chick. She's got 5 titties. Oh, man, it's incredible. It was like Total Recall. It was crazy. Oh, shit, man. You don't even need to breathe air there. I got superhuman strength. Ah, yes. Man. Luis Elizondo, the guy who said there's very compelling evidence that we may not be alone, he continues. He says, these aircraft, we'll call them aircraft, display characteristics that are not currently within the United States inventory, nor in any foreign inventory that we are aware of, Elizondo said of the objects that they researched. This is, again, the former head of the classified program founded by Harry Reid that is no longer funded. He says, Elizondo said of the objects he researched, he says he resigned from the Defense Department in 2017 in protest over the secrecy surrounding the program and the internal opposition to funding it. Harry Reid tweeted Monday that he was glad the Pentagon officially released the videos, but that it only scratches the surface of research and materials available. The U.S. needs to take a serious scientific look at this and any potential national security implications. Man, can you imagine if, like, today they blow the lid off this? It'd be like, move over, coronavirus. Let's talk little green men. Man. Some members of Congress are still interested in the issue, with senators receiving a classified briefing from Navy officials on unidentified aircraft last summer. You see what needs to happen here for them to be interested. They need more proof. This is fine, but it's old now, and they don't even fund the thing anymore. Now, I mean, you want something really to happen. We need when I used to live in New Jersey, you go to the shore, and it's like 8 million planes pulling a banner behind them. We need something elaborate by the aliens that's going to make us go, oh, all right, okay, forget the small business loan. Let's fund search for extraterrestrial life. I'd be like, screw the small businesses. I want to fly to the Crab Nebula. Totally kidding. Any screw small business jokes right now is going to be met by heartache and butthurt. So I'm kidding. Shut up. Some members of Congress still interested in the issue, with senators receiving a classified briefing from Navy officials on unidentified aircraft last summer. Well, what'd you find out, man? If pilots at Oceana, I don't know what that is. Oh, it's an airline. If pilots at Oceana or elsewhere are reporting flight hazards that interfere with training or put them at risk, then Senator Warner wants answers. Yeah, whatever. They're going to be fine. These things can fly like crazy. They can do circles around our aircraft. No big deal. This is exciting. This is really exciting. And it's based on footage that's been around for 16 years. Some of it. But for the Pentagon to say, yep, this is it, take it or leave it, is huge. Absolutely gigantic. All right. Man, I cannot wait to talk to you about this next story. It surrounds some real nonsense on the NFL draft. I really don't give two shits about the NFL draft. But this story is something that I do give shits about because I couldn't believe it. And it's just something. It involves when a player is drafted, a lot of times they give their stats. Can run the 40-yard dash in 4.4 seconds. Bench press 225 pounds 30 times. Things like that. Academic All-American 3 times. ESPN makes these graphics for these young men. Second-round pick for the Cincinnati Bengals, T. Higgins, is a 2-time All-ACC wide receiver. He's great. And almost a first-round pick. He's a first pick in the second round for the Cincinnati Bengals. And wait till you hear what ESPN did to him on that graphic that they show for each player. This is sick. I couldn't believe it. And so I'm going to get to that in a second. I have T-shirts, and I want more of you to wear them. There's lots of styles. They're found at EricZaneShow.com. They're made of incredible materials. Each shirt is custom made. You can have your custom name put on the back of the shirt if you like. There are long sleeves. There are short sleeves. There are tanks. There are ladies' cut styles. You know, ladies have better figures than men. And there's different designs. You get a Dear Meathead T-shirt. You get a Zany Bunch T-shirt with all my pets. You get Who Needs Radio T-shirt, Making a Podcaster T-shirt. Check out the styles. Get a T-shirt, like a dozen different colors, different blends, full cotton, 50-50. I do all this shit. Hats, joggers, everything you need is at EricZaneShow.com. And those T-shirts are $24.95. Some are a little bit more pricey, like the hoodies, but no big deal. And the shipping is included in the cost. So if it says $24.95, you're paying $24.95. I get $6 of that. I put it in my pocket, and I buy meat. That's what I do. Thank you if you have one. Thank you if you're thinking about buying one. Please go and check it out. More bill payment now. This is how the free podcast is free, by the way, so don't bump ahead. That's my lecture portion of the show. If you want to buy a house, you know, I got you covered with the mortgage. I also have you covered with the realtor. This guy who wears those glasses that I'm showing on the video, the red rim glasses, Henry Steffes, thesteffesgroup.com. I'm playing with the image right now. Henry Steffes is a terrific realtor, and yeah, go ahead, bang on the door of a few other realtors like I suggest that you do. Henry is going to win your heart. The guy is so great. His team is so thorough in making sure that you are, first of all, if you're selling your home, the process is, he is the best at it, making sure that your home is priced right to move appropriately. And I might be speaking out of school here, but I know for a fact there's more than one Zane Show listener who, when Henry said, I think we should price it at this level, the listener was like, I don't know if you're going to get that. And they did. And then in some cases, even more. You know, a lot of people are fighting over houses these days. Mortgage rates are perfectly set up for you, so you get the mortgage from my friends at Van Dyke Mortgage, Mario Flores, and then you call on Henry, thesteffesgroup.com. Thank you. That home has to be cleaned. See where I'm going with this? A&D Cleaning in West Michigan. Call up Amy Porter at 616-550-3644. Get your home clean with A&D Cleaning. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Hey, you got to put a car in the garage of that home. Where do you get it? Yes, Sarah Honda Granville. People are buying cars online, by the way, and it won't be long till they can basically walk the lot like they like to do. Won't be long now. Gray skies are going to clear up, as they say. SarahHondaGranville.com is the dealership of choice for the Eric Zane Show podcast. Of course, Honda cars, some of the best in the business. They run forever. Good luck trying to find a used Honda, man. They just run forever. So many satisfied customers, but they can also put you into a certified pre-owned. They can put you into a used car and even a budget car. All on one lot. They've got a terrific brand new lot. They've got a terrific certified pre-owned, used, and budget lot right off of 196 on Kanawha Avenue, right at 44th Street. Sarah Honda Granville.com. All key sponsors in my stable of sponsors of the Eric Zane Show podcast. By the way, despite coronavirus still bringing on new sponsors, I signed a new one, which I'm going to introduce to you in a matter of days. This new business starts on Monday, and I'm always looking for your business. I actually haven't had a problem with. I'm very lucky, so I haven't even considered trying to get a small business loan because I am so blessed with people who've been constantly reaching out to me, interest in the show. And all I'm suggesting is if you're in any way remotely interested in your business, whether you're just getting back to work or you're still working during all of this, I can get anybody into a marketing plan because I am the sole proprietor. I make all the decisions, and I can craft a plan for the teeny tiniest of budgets to something that is elaborate. and my reach is as good as any, and I swear in a stack of holy Bibles, as any radio show. You know why? Because nobody's listening to the radio show, unfortunately, these days, to any radio in general. And that's just a fact. Ask around. Ask your friends. How often do you listen to the radio? If you had to compare how often you listen to any other media to radio, what would you listen to the most? They don't listen to it. It's crazy. I lucked out. I didn't do this by choice. If I didn't get fired, I'd still be doing radio. But this worked out. This is actually a blessing in disguise. Thank you. Let's see here. Let's check the email grab bag. See what anything, if anything is happening. Ooh, I got a tip about who to call for getting the pests out of the house. Thank you, Amanda. Nice job. I appreciate that. If you're just tuning in, man, Jesus. What a scene. You must back up the podcast and hear the saga of the mice. Man, there will be proof for all those stories I have for you. Okay. T. Higgins out of Clemson. Of course, I hadn't heard of him. I don't really follow sports where I know the names. I do follow the storylines of when, with the college football playoffs and obviously the NFL. And if my team's doing good, I'm all about it. But I'm not tone deaf to what's going on. If there's a story, I'm all over it. And this is ridiculous. Holy shit, I couldn't believe what I saw. Young man by the name of T. Higgins from Clemson, wide receiver, really damn good. You know, he's getting set to make his next step in life. He's had a terrific time playing football for Clemson, one of the best teams in the land. He probably catches passes from that dude who looks like Sunshine from Remember the Titans. I forget that guy's name, but he's great. But, all right, here we go. Higgins is set to go. He's going to make millions of dollars in the NFL. He gets drafted by the Bungles. So it's going to be Joe Burrow to T. Higgins before you know it. Now, I didn't know this, but in the draft coverage, which everybody watched because there was nothing else to watch, I didn't. But ESPN created graphics. So while you're listening to the people talk, you would see on your TV, get to know T. Higgins, Clemson, wide receiver. Hometown, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. I used to live right by Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Next bullet point. Finalist for 2016 Tennessee Mr. Basketball. So he's an all-around athlete. Held offers from Louisville, Auburn, and Tennessee. Next bullet point. Little fun fact about T. Higgins. His sister Kiki played basketball for Middle Tennessee State. Nice. Athletic family. So cool. That's great, you know. Second two-time All-ACC, 2019, first-team All-ACC. If it ended there, this would not be a story, and I would never have heard of T. Higgins. But ESPN decided that they wanted to do these bullet points. Now, I'm just going to read it to you, and then I'll unpack further what they were thinking. Hometown Oak Ridge, Mr. Basketball, sister Kiki is a great athlete, two-time All-ACC. Final bullet point. Mom, Camilla, fought drug addiction for 16 years. What? Now, if I saw that live, I'm like, what the Hometown Oak Ridge, finalist, mom's a crackhead. What? Why are you telling me this? And how is this okay? Apparently, their thought process was they wanted to highlight a human hurdle that a player would have to handle to, I guess, show that they had been through a lot and still succeeded. I guess that's the only nice way, or at least attempt at a nice way of thinking, trying to figure out what they were doing there. And ladies and gentlemen, oh, yes, look at that. It looks like he's going to be a pick of Cincinnati Bengals. That would be T. Higgins, man. Oh, yeah, he tore it up back in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, back in his formative years. Then on to Clemson, where he was a two-time All-ACC member First team 2019, and his mom's a crackhead. And then, what else did they say? Was there, I don't think that maybe that they pulled the plug on that, but if they're going to do that, they're going to show the next guy and say, oh, yeah, he once threw a chick down the steps. Holy shit, I cannot believe this. ESPN executive Seth Markman talked to NBC Sports' Peter King because everybody blew up on ESPN for doing this. And how could you be that tone deaf? And Markman said, yeah, that's not unfair. It's something we should self-scout for the future. You think? Pointing out that his mom's a crackhead on national television. Here it is, his kid's big day. He's all happy. He's probably hang on, I got a cough. It was probably a scenario where he's sitting around the living room with his friends, and how awkward would that be if mom is sitting there, fought drug addiction. I hope she's still with us, and I hope she's clean. But how awkward would it have been if she's sitting there and they say, yeah, his mom fought drug addiction for 16 years. You've been like, what the fuck? Who said that was a good idea? What if you do that and she freaks out and gets back on the sauce because the whole world now knows that she's a crackhead? How stupid is this? It's something we should self-scout for the future, said Seth Markman. We can examine it. We didn't want to be Debbie Downer. Well, guess what? You were. But we wanted to show how some of the players overcame major issues in their lives. That's what he's doing. Well, that's not okay. What does that do? Just say how great he is. He likes to volunteer at the soup kitchen. Not his mom's a fucking crack whore. Jesus. Maybe how Javon Kinlaw drew inspiration from growing up homeless, or a player overcoming a father's suicide to achieve his dream. Yeah, that's not good either. So that would mean that Javon Kinlaw, whoever that is, bench presses 225 pounds 50 times, runs a 4.3 30, was homeless. See, it doesn't work. Academic All-American. 6 straight games with 2 touchdowns or more. Dad killed himself. There's no way that this is appropriate. Oh, my God. ESPN since apologized for airing the graphic. They said they noted that it didn't have enough context. There's no context. There's no point that is appropriate, ESPN. Higgins, for one, did not have a problem with its inclusion and tweeted that he was proud of his mother. Well, if you're not mad, I guess I can't be mad. I would be pissed if they said, yeah, there you go, he's great. His mom was a crackhead. But many others, including 2018 draft pick and Broncos pass rusher Bradley Chubb, could have done without it. Quote, I understand everybody has a story and motivation, but ESPN doesn't have to highlight the worst moment that happens in some of these folks' lives. Shortly after Higgins was picked, am I tripping? No, I don't think you are. For me, it would say fired from 3 jobs, shits his pants yearly in bad positions, normally wearing white pants while doing it. This whole thing is ridiculous. I'm curious what the apology, it says ESPN has since apologized for airing the graphic. If they expanded on the apology. They said that should not have aired. It was a mistake, and we apologize for it. Seth Markman then said he wanted to highlight their obstacles. Yeah, that's a bad idea. No good. I don't think you'll see that anymore. T. Higgins. Now you know who T. Higgins is. Great football player, Joe Burrow, mama crackhead, and he doesn't have a problem with the world finding out that his mom was a crackhead for 16 years. Now she's clean. He's proud of her. All right. There you go. All's well that ends well, but that is just ridiculous. Let's talk about the LA Lakers. Why would you want to talk about the LA Lakers? Actually, I'm finishing with all sports to end the show. But it's all ridiculous stories. So it doesn't matter if you like sports or not. This has to do, it doesn't have to do with sports. It has to do with how it's become a gigantic story. The Paycheck Protection Program was set up by the government. And I don't know, maybe this is why people say don't rush shit through. Because, the governmental steps. Because while everybody needed money and everybody was begging, come on, man, the small business is dying. We need that money. It was pushed through. And then everybody who needed money, a lot of these companies, these small businesses, mostly the ones that I'm surrounded by, don't have access to it because the $350 billion with the B was blown through by all of these companies. And you're like, well, boy, how did it shake out? Well, big companies applied for the money, and they shouldn't have. And they cheated. And the ones that got caught have agreed to give it back. Had they not been caught, I doubt they would have. The gigantic hotel chain that I talked about in yesterday's podcast that owns the Ritz-Carlton is not. And they are standing by it. They said, no, we will take this however many million. It's the biggest, I think it's tens of millions of dollars, probably $20-30 million. I think they wanted $120 million of the $350 billion. This hotelier huge, gigantic company, and this was set up for the backbone of America, the small business, because small business can't go a week or two before they either have to lay everybody off or shut the business entirely. That's the point. So that's why it was there, but all of these asshole companies applied. How is it that they weren't filtered out? I don't know. And I think that actually is criminal, and it needs to be examined thoroughly. Shake Shack, Ruth's Chris. Who else? There's a car dealership that I talked about on yesterday's podcast. All of them got, Ruth's Chris got over $20 million. Shake Shack got over $10 million. They gave the money back when the axe fell. Now, again, the money is gone. They have pushed through another bill, which scares me now because all of these other now that this has come to light, there's been a mass influx of people applying for it at the SBA's website. It crashed within minutes. They had more busyness yesterday when that money was made available than they ever had for all these businesses. Like, all Big Dick Donnie wants to do is get away from standing on the street up north and showing his pecker to people at stoplights, and they're throwing him $5 and $10 bills. All he wants to do is get out there on the lanes and roll or host comedy shows, and he can't do it. So, for that reason alone, actually, Big Dick Donnie's probably making more money now showing everybody his pecker. But I'm worried that money is going to run out, too, for these small businesses. The LA Lakers are worth $4.4 billion. They applied and were granted a $4.6 million loan. What? How? What? Somebody needs to get their ass kicked. Somebody needs to be fired. They need to track down who actually made the decision to actually apply for it, whose name is on the dotted line. They need to be ridiculed. They need to be shunned. They need to be shamed. The Paycheck Protection Program was not built for rich people steakhouse, rich people hotel, car dealership, fancy hamburger joint that has thousands of employees and millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars in revenue every day, and NBA basketball team. That is not what the Paycheck Protection Program was set up for. But $4.4 billion value on the LA Lakers, they applied and got a check for $4.6 million, while Big Dick Donnie is standing on the street up in Howard City. Incredible. The team did not specify what made them eligible for the funds. I want to know who the whistleblower is, or did they blow their own whistle? I doubt that they did. None of these people blew their own whistle. They were just hoping no one noticed, these rich bastards. Quote, once we found out that the funds from the program had been depleted, we repaid the loan. So, wait, let's pause there. You only repaid the loan, which basically is so low interest, and some people won't even have to pay it back, the way I'm understanding it. You waited until you found out there was no more money before you decided to pay it back? We repaid the loan so that financial support would be directed to those most in need, the Lakers said in a statement. The Lakers remain committed to supporting both our employees and our community. My God, they could very easily pass the hat around the locker room of the LA Lakers, okay? And they could have enough money to pay everybody that works at the stadium, let alone within the front office of the Lakers team. Besides, the only people that are really struggling on the LA Lakers, is the guy who works in the mailroom. The guy who, the game day interns. Those are the people that you would want. I mean, so come on. Give me a break. Company's worth $4.4 billion. Jesus. Let's see. AutoNation was that company I was telling you about. At least 13 companies, including AutoNation, Ruth's Chris, Shake Shack, have announced they will refund a total of more than $170 million. And I think that's just scratching the surface. I want to know how these freaking companies even were given a sniff at getting that money. How hard is it? Is there not a person on the receiving end of these applications? Or are you just going, good, 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 LA Lakers, AutoNation, Ruth's Chris, big fancy hotel chain? That's ridiculous. Cannot believe that. After League Commissioner Adam Silver announced that the season would be halted, teams began exploring ways they could continue paying low-wage workers at their arenas. The Lakers, along with the Clippers and the LA Kings, created a fund that will pay more. There you go. They did it. They already did it. We'll pay more than 2,800 Staples Center workers, including ushers, security officers, ticket sellers, and merchandise staff. Well, what the fuck you need the money for? You don't even need that money. What are you going to do with it? Light it on fire like fucking Pablo Escobar? Holy shit. This is stupid. People are dumb, man. Damn it. I have one more thing I want to talk to you about, and you can't avoid hearing about The Last Dance, a fucking documentary about MJ. And I think eventually I'm going to get around to watching this. I think I should. Just because it's a culture thing, and I fear of missing out, Eric. That's all it is. But couldn't miss this. They were to the point in the last round of The Last Dance, talking about the Detroit Pistons. And when the Bulls finally beat the Pistons in 1991. Now, as Jordan was making his way through the Bulls, becoming better and better, the Bulls getting better and adding pieces, and will they be able to take out the Pistons? The Pistons always for just beating the shit out of the Bulls, and Joe Dumars had Jordan's number, and then the Pistons go on to win a couple of NBA championships. The bad boys, the only people that liked the Pistons were fans in Michigan. It was Detroit versus everybody, and it's always that way. And that team, the Pistons, couldn't have been more Detroit. You just look at those guys sideways and beat the shit out of you. I mean, they had a guy named Adrian Dantley on the team who was great, but we needed to toughen up, so we brought in Mark Aguirre. And he was like the least tough of all the guys on that team. So when you're ditching Dantley for Aguirre, you got a good team. And then, you get this little shit Isaiah Thomas who's going to cheap shot you in the back of the head and chew you up and spit you out. And don't forget, you got James Buddha Edwards. Bill Laimbeer is going to beat your face in. Rick Mahorn, my God. I mean, these Dennis Rodman. Oh man, it was just an incredible time, and they would just maul you and murder you. Every game would have a near bench clearing brawl. It was like hockey. It was so incredible, and we played so dirty. It was great. I loved every second of it. Bill Laimbeer, he'd go to the Boston Gardens, and he'd make Bird his bitch again, and Bird would go up for a layup, and Laimbeer would bury an elbow right in his temple. And, Bird goes down concussed. He's already stupid as shit, so, his IQ points are falling every game. They throw Laimbeer out, and he starts bowing to the Boston crowd like a dick. He's like, fuck you. I mean, it was great. So when the Bulls finally beat the Pistons, with 8 seconds to go in the game, 7.9, the Pistons starters had all come out. So you got Zeke and Laimbeer and all these guys are on the bench. Finally, Bulls are finally going to win the game. They're going to go to the NBA Finals. And the Pistons said, fuck this. We don't want to stay here. Let's get the fuck out of here. They walked off the bench. That touched off all sorts of butthurt. Classless. Yes, it was. It's Detroit. That is it. We were classless and fine with it. Hindsight being what it is, Isaiah Thomas is rewriting the history. At the time, he even said, well, the game was over. We just walked off the court. Now, typically, you shake hands and you leave. Not the Pistons. They're going to be cocks. They hate the Bulls. They've been obstinate, headstrong, and asshole from day one. Fuck it. Let's just go. They walk off. So, a final fuck you. Then you got Isaiah trying to position it as, it's just what we did. It wasn't really that big of a deal. And that's always pissed Jordan off. And so much so that nobody liked Isaiah. Nobody liked the Pistons. The Olympics rolls around the next year. They keep Isaiah off the team. So, what goes around comes around. I have no problem with the Bulls being pissed. They're right to be pissed. The fans are right to call the Pistons bitches. The Pistons, in true bad boy fashion, for them to leave the court like that, I support that too, man. I get it. This is not a big deal. I think where it's getting crazy again, so many years later, is now that the Last Dance is on. So all these old bones are being dug up. So I've got a couple of things here. First of all, from the Last Dance, they're talking about the walking off the court, and there's a lot of butt hurt to go around, and there's a lot of some things are a little bit are said poetically, like Stu Jackson. Damn it, Phil Jackson here. And then you got Horace Grant. He puts a fine point on it in not so nice terms. Let's check this out. Oops, stand by. I screwed that up. Here we go.
Seconds remaining. The Pistons just left.
I think it was very difficult for them because
Phil.
They were two-time champions. But, there certainly has to be some respect.
Straight up bitches. That's what they walked off like. Now, we just kick your ass. Go ahead and go.
Horace Grant, that guy was a beast. I like it. Straight up bitches, and then
With my left.
straight up bitches, and then he chuckles about it. That's what I loved about that.
That's what they walked off. Straight up bitches. That's what they walked off like.
Right there.
Now, we just kick your ass. Go ahead and go.
Jordan, so Grant, whatever, grain of salt. I like it. It's a very dramatic moment in the video. They're making a huge deal about it. Jordan is, it's Jordan rules. Jordan is, he's drama queen. He was great, and he's really running with this here. He's really running with the whole thing about Zeke. He's still pissed off. Listen to this. They play a little bit of Isaiah Thomas from back in 91 when he was like, oh, yeah, when you lose, you walk off the court. The game was over. And this has got Jordan pissed off all over again.
Took place. But during that period of time, That's
Now, all the while, the camera's on Jordan when they're playing this really old footage, and his eyes are rolling. You can tell him he's getting pissed off just listening to this shit.
just not how it was passed. Just wasn't. And you can go back and you can look at any of those old games or whatever. When you lost, you left the floor.
All you got to do is you go back to us losing in Game 7. I shook everybody's hand. 2 years in a row, we shook their hands when they beat us. There was a certain respect to the game.
Yes, you're right, Michael. And yes, you did do that. And you were right to do that. But it's the Pistons, man. It's Detroit. What do you expect? To get to the mountain, they had to physically beat the shit out of you with the dirtiest basketball that has ever played. And we loved it. And any fan of the Pistons who argues that is a fucking liar. You know what happened. We mauled everybody. It was an ass kicking. And that's the way it goes. So Jordan's still pissed. More from him here. He already talked about how I shook everybody's hands. I did this. I did that. All right, great. Yes, you did. And then Jordan talks a little bit further about how as time has passed, Isaiah has tried to put his own spin on this as to the moment and how it happened. And Jordan captures this perfectly.
Isaiah, talking about the walk-off.
Well, I know it's all bullshit. Whatever he says now, you know it wasn't his true actions then. You know, it's time enough to think about it. Or the reaction of the public that's kind of changed his perspective of it. Yeah, you can show me anything you want. There's no way you can convince me he wasn't an asshole.
Knowing what we know now and the aftermath of this is Isaiah.
Isaiah's a dick. He always has been. So, if I'm Isaiah Thomas, knowing he's still this pissed, I'm like, I won again. David Lee Roth, in a song that I heard of his when he was with Van Halen on that album that nobody bought, the song's called Stay Frosty, said, they want to get your goat, don't tell them where it's hid. Okay? That's what happened there. Isaiah knows exactly where fucking Jordan's goat is, and he's got him. He's got it. Time passes. Yesterday, Isaiah Thomas is on one of these ESPN Talking Heads shows, and listen to this. He's apologizing, but not in any way for what he did, which, to me, if Isaiah Thomas apologized for that at this point, I would say you're the worst. This is even worse. You better not apologize. You gotta stand firm onto what you did. You own it, and but he doesn't. To me, the only thing he could have done was say, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, I did that. I was pretty pissed off. That's it. End of story. That's it. That's all you can say." There is one player who did say that, and I'll get to that in a second. But this is what Isaiah Thomas said here.
No. The fact that I have to sit here today and Jalen, Chris Webber, Steve Smith, who I work with, the hurt that those guys feel for me having to be in this moment. I apologize to them in Detroit for all of us in this moment. Because as a leader of the team and as a leader
That's it. So he's not apologizing for anything, and that's good. He's apologizing to other Detroiters, other players in basketball who are from Detroit. Why? Why are you apologizing to them? Are they in a corner weeping because they're connected to Detroit in some way, shape, or form? Are they experiencing some degree of shaming Steve Smith, Jalen Rose, and Chris Webber? I don't understand what you're doing there. So that's weird. That to me, that's almost as weird as Jordan still being this rankled about the whole thing. And the bottom line is, there's a lot of butthurt going around here. Stand by. One more thing I want to get to about this, though. One of my favorite all-time players, Bill Laimbeer. 6'11" from Notre Dame. Grew up rich as shit. His dad was a giant in his industry. Grew up with tons of dough. Goes to Notre Dame. Kicks ass in Notre Dame. Gets drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Pistons make a trade. They get his rich ass. Makes more money. Hell, he made more money in inheritance than he did as an NBA player. And he's been a giant in industry, too, and in coaching, Bill Laimbeer. This dude doesn't give a shit. And I just love what he said. Bill Laimbeer fires back at Michael Jordan, calls him and the Bulls whiners. The rivalry between the Pistons and the Bulls, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to read you the quote. On ESPN, they asked him if you regret what happened. He goes, why would I regret it? I don't care what anybody says about me, and I never did. If I did, I'd be a basket case, especially back then. This is so Bill Laimbeer. He doesn't give a shit. I was about winning basketball games and winning championships, and I did whatever I had to do to get the most out of my ability and our team, and we did. Now, part of the reason why I can relate to that is that's my way I would do radio. It was always about trying to do the best I could. And I didn't give a shit who got in the way of that. And it ended up costing me. But that's how I did it. That's maybe why I like this guy so much. At the end of the day, I'm there to do a job. You put Bill Laimbeer in there to do his job, and that's the job I would do. I would do a certain job, and I was supposed to do it, and I did it, and then that was it. So I can really relate to what he said. He said, and we did that. At the end of the day, we're the world champions. He went on to, and then he says, they whined and cried for a year and a half about how bad we were for the game. But more importantly, they said we were bad people, Laimbeer said. We weren't bad people. We were just basketball players winning. And that really stuck with me because they didn't know who we were or what we were about as individuals and our family life. But all that whining they did, I didn't want to shake their hand. They're whiners. They won the series. Give them credit. We got old. They got past us. But okay, move on. Fuck yes. God bless Bill Laimbeer. What an asshole. Oh, man. That's why I love him so much. Very, very cool. Okay. We are just under 2 hours shy of an Eric Zane Show podcast. I've got John taking on Throat/Dale at just about 25 minutes. For Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia, brought to you by Bennett Flooring Installation. And it's on Patreon, so it's going to be live. We'll do it live. And then I'll be recording it just like this for the folks on Patreon. If you want to take part in it, you can sign up right now. I mean, it's $75 is on the line because Dale's managed to win a couple times. And I want Dale to win so bad because John's been a pain in my ass for the last week and a half. So hopefully Dale will win again and push that pot up to $100. Okay? So that is coming up in just a few short minutes. Be looking forward to that. You can check it out at ericzaneshow.com. Just click where it says Patreon, and you can sign up or just go to patreon.com/Eric Zane. All right. For Big Dick Donnie on the street in Howard City, Michigan, showing his friggin' baby leg package. From Fear Bunker South. Each and every day, the Eric Zane Show podcast rolls on. Not applying for a small business loan. All right? That's for you people that need it. I don't need it. I got you. And I want you to have that. God bless, folks. We'll talk to you down the road.